Good morning, guys. It's Kevin here from Tranquilityscapes. Today we are in Farmingdale, Long Island, and we're going to be making some adjustments to an existing pond here in this little backyard. So we already drained this pond. The fish are in the holding tank. We haven't done any work yet, but right now this homeowner bought this house 5 years ago and has this existing waterfall that's mortared together, and it doesn't have a liner underneath it. So every time it's running, she's losing inches of water every single day. So the goal for today is actually to be demoing this waterfall, and we're going to be building a new waterfall starting right next to this bridge, and it meanders all the way into this pond. It's probably going to be 5 to 6 feet long. You can see we have our biofalls 2500 right over there, but also on top of that biofalls we're going to be adding a skimmer 1000 right on the edge of this pond right here. Since she has electrical over here and the waterfall is going to be diagonally opposed to the skimmer is going to be perfectly recessed right in this area. But with the add-on with the skimmer and the biofalls, this pond is going to be much healthier for the fish. It's also going to be way less maintenance for the homeowner, as the current draws everything into the skimmer, into the collection area. All she has to do is empty out this basket right in here. Right now, since this pond doesn't have a skimmer, you could see down here all the way at the bottom, all those leaves are decaying right down there, because as any organic material drops into this pond, it drops to the bottom, settles out, and decays. That leads to unhealthy water quality and clarity. Anyways, me and Rob got a late start today. It's about 11 o'clock. We're just starting the job because we just had to wrap up a few details at our last project. So you guys go on the time lapse as we demo this waterfall out. So that is it on day one. I think for 3/4 of a day, I think we did a pretty good job today. I'm going to show you guys the progress we made today. Tomorrow, all we have to do is just button up a few things like the waterfall, and then we'll be just out of here. So right now, it does look like a bomb just went off in this backyard, because it did. Right over here, this whole area was deconstructed, and then right now we have our Aquascape Skimmer 1000 installed right here. The plumbing is all trenched and everything. The unfortunate things about these ponds with small boulders is, yes, they're easy to build and very quick to build, but the thing is that they're just very unstable. As you can see, that's the small rock that these builders typically use. These are just stacked vertical. If I were to step on that, that whole wall would just cave in. And that's how the whole pond was constructed. As you can see, there's bare spots of liner all around here, and there's rocks that have constantly fallen down. Yes, we already had to rebuild some of these areas, because once we drained the pond, we realized, yeah, this thing was collapsing on itself. But over here is where we started our boulder work. This was a shelf. There was no shelf over here, but because our waterfall was now entering the pond over here, instead of here, we had to build some foundation. So we grabbed some bigger boulders and we backfilled with gravel, and we made a really sturdy base to have our first waterfall that falls into the pond. Right here we have a first sheet style waterfall. It's about 8 inches, and that's going to go into the pond. Back here we have the retaining wall and biofalls It looks a mess right now, I know. But tomorrow, all we have to do is just finish these last 2 cascades into that Boulder Falls. We have to bring about a yard of soil to finish off this berm. And then we gotta just do some accent boulders and then rebuild this shelf right over here. While we do this, she has some really beautiful koi in here. I'm not sure if you guys can see them that well because of the glare, but she has some really nice fish in here. These fish will be staying in our temporary holding tank overnight until we finish this project, which should be tomorrow. Alright guys, that is the end of day 2 and we are completely done with this job. We're heading out, but before we head out, I want to show you guys what we did here. Because it turned out absolutely amazing. Even though we had an existing pond, we came in here, we took out the old pump that was sitting in a piece of ADS pipe. So this was the old pump vault and it was sitting right about there, and this was the old pump. We did change it even though the pump worked, just because this pump didn't really fit perfectly in the skimmer. 1,400 gallons an hour, which is a little lower than what we like to work with usually because we work with boulders instead of slate, so we typically need a little more water flow than that. But the homeowner didn't want to be on camera, which is totally fine, but she's super excited, and so am I. We're gonna head out because it is starting to rain, so nothing beats that. But before it starts to pour on us, I'm gonna get you guys some final shots, so enjoy those.